Hi, Mia. Can you believe that your wedding is just 1 week away? I'm incredibly excited for the big day. It's sure to be an amazing event.
Hey, Ava. I know, right? I can't hardly believe it myself. The day is getting closer and it's finally beginning to sink in.
By the way, I've already bought your wedding gift, and I'll drop it off whenever you're home. I've also picked out what I'll be wearing on the special day, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. It's an elegant one-shoulder gown in a delicate shade of sky blue. I discovered it at that marvelous dress boutique in town.
You did what?
I also bought these exquisite shoes at a 50% discount. Maybe I could show you the entire outfit when you have a free moment. I really need to know what you think. I just need to make sure I don't clash with the wedding's theme or accidentally mimic your bridesmaids, which could lead to a rather awkward situation. You know, since I'm not a bridesmaid, no.
Ava, listen. I've already explained why I chose not to include you as a bridesmaid. I have a lot of friends who I want to have as my bridesmaids, and I decided it would be more convenient to have them as bridesmaids instead of family. They're a nice even number and it just works perfectly.
I know. You already told me. Sorry I brought it up. It's just that it would have been really nice to be a part of this special day. But I understand. You're right. It's your wedding ceremony.
Yes, it's my wedding, so I get to have things my way. Anyway, you can come over now.
Really? Are you sure you're not too busy? I can wait if you need me to.
It's alright. My friends and I are getting together for a small pre-wedding meetup and finalizing some last-minute arrangements. Since they're all here, we can all check out your outfit.
That's great. See you in a bit.
Perfect. See you soon.
What the heck, Mia? Why on earth would you do something like that? Are you completely out of your mind?
Crazy? Absolutely not. When I saw that blue dress, I immediately knew it was destined for the water. The whole outfit just screamed ocean, and I just did what needed to be done. I sent it to the ocean. I did you a big favor, sis. Thank me later.
Wait, are you seriously suggesting that you intentionally dumped water on my dress for your own sick amusement? If you didn't like it, you could have just said so. What's wrong with you?
The dress isn't the problem. Quite the contrary. It's a beautiful gown. I simply thought it would look much better on Tori than on you.
So that's why you intentionally poured water on it?
Isn't it clear to you yet?
Not really, or else I wouldn't be asking.
Well, now it appears you have nothing to wear. So sorry you'll have to miss the wedding and stay home. What a pity.
So this was your whole scheme, huh? You just didn't want me at your wedding. Are you seriously that narrow-minded and self-absorbed to the point where you'd actually toss a glass of water on me just so I couldn't come to your wedding? And to top it off, you had to do it in front of all your friends just to humiliate me.
Oh, Ava, don't be so dramatic. Yes, I soaked your dress. So what? I did it and it was really funny and my friends agreed. Besides, I did try to tell you multiple times that I'd prefer not to have you at my wedding. I mean, I didn't even send you an invitation. I thought you'd get the message, but clearly I needed to take things a step further. You did this to yourself.
What's gotten into you? I mean, if this is how you behave toward your own sister, I really don't think you'll be any better towards your husband-to-be in a fight. I already feel bad for him.
You don't need to worry about John. It's none of your business. Besides, he makes all the money, and lots of it too, so I won't need to be mean to him. Just in case, you know?
Of course. You wouldn't want to risk the guy who's paying for your whole life to cut you off before your wedding.
You're just being sarcastic. But honestly, I couldn't care less. Sounds like you're just a bit jealous that I'm marrying a rich man while you're stuck being your poor old self.
Hold on. Is that why you're trying to keep me out of the wedding? Because you think I'm poor?
I'm not making any assumptions. But based on your history of financial issues, I'd say you're probably still broke. You're my sister, after all. Plus, my soon-to-be husband isn't thrilled about the idea of you joining the wedding either.
What? He told you that he doesn't want me there?
Yep. John made it clear. He sees you as more of an irritating nuisance. And you know, He's got a reputation to uphold. Plenty of his influential buddies and business associates will be at the event. And he's not happy about a poor person causing any problems.
He really thinks that way, huh?
He does, no doubt about it. Feel free to ask him yourself.
I thought we had a good connection. He seemed to enjoy my company whenever we were at Mom and Dad's or hung out together.
He was just putting on an act, pretending to like you. If you don't believe me, speak to him yourself.
Oh, I will. I'll prove that you're wrong.
Go ahead, do your thing. But I wouldn't be too confident about proving me wrong. Well, once John and I tie the knot, it won't make a difference.
What are you saying?
FYI, we're cutting ties with anyone who isn't rich. Can't have people constantly trying to mooch off of us, you know?
People? Are you talking about me?
Yeah. We can't have some self-absorbed, needy person trying to drain John's finances.
That person being you, right?
Oh, you're quite the comedian, aren't you?
But let's be clear. I have absolutely no desire for John's wealth. I don't care about money, and you know that Mom and Dad feel the same way. They won't budge on having me by their side at the wedding, especially when it comes to standing up against someone like you.
Well, they could change their mind soon. Particularly when I inform them that if they don't allow me to remove you from the guest list, I might reconsider my commitment to funding their retirement.
You would actually not offer your financial support to our parents just because you want them to exclude me from your wedding? You're so mean.
Listen, I'm more than willing to support our parents in their retirement because, well, they're our parents. If I have to assist them in ensuring they have a comfortable retirement, so be it. But as for you, you're flying solo. If you're in need of financial help, you should have put in more effort, don't you think?
What does that have to do with the situation?
You know, the reason I'm marrying John is his money. He's not the most fascinating person, you know. His dad's got a successful business that rakes in quite a bit of cash. I'm just aiming for a life without the daily grind and responsibilities. I also want to be around people of a similar status, and not be ridiculed because of my broke sister.
Are they really good people if the company you want to be associated with shows such shallowness?
Who gives a damn if they're rich? Those people are the ones I need to surround myself with in order to sustain my social standing. And you are certainly not included in that equation.
Why are you so cruel? Do you really hate me that much?
I have more than just negative feelings towards you. I've had this grudge since day one. Mom and Dad showered me with love and attention, and we were a happy and joyful family. But when you came into the picture, they forgot about me. It wasn't right.
I was a newborn, you know. Babies need care to survive.
Regardless, it was unfair. From now on, I will decide who is part of my life. I'm the architect of my own destiny, after all. And I choose to be the star on my wedding day, and you won't steal the spotlight. Got it?
I see. You're jealous of me and trying to exclude me from every aspect of your wedding.
Why would I envy you?
You tell me, because I have no idea. I never asked to be born. You, as my elder sister, seem to be resentful of my very being. This may be the reason why you're so desperate to marry John. You just want to brag to your friends about being wealthy and your husband's business, right? So you can hog the limelight. How superficial is that? Choosing money over family?
Not everyone in my family. Mom and Dad are cool and always welcome in our huge house.
Oh wow, how generous of you.
Anyway, please keep your distance from my wedding, or I'll make sure you get drenched again. Am I clear now? But I still want that gift. It's my special day and I deserve to be spoiled by everyone, even if it's by poor old you. You can be useful for once by giving me that present.
Whatever. Your wedding sounds like it'll be a drag anyway.
What the hell are you saying? My wedding will be anything but boring.
Yeah, I bet. All that pink lace and a crowd of mundane business folks. It'll be a blast. I'm sure of it.
Joke all you want, but I know it will be amazing. Do yourself a favor and don't even think of coming to my extravagant wedding. It's not a good fit for broke people like you.
Okay, I will respect your decision. Just remember, you may come to regret this choice in the future.
What are you implying? Ava?
Ava, can you tell me where you've disappeared to? I've got a handful of questions about your sister's wedding. I need some last-minute outfit advice. Could you help?
Of course, Dad.
Fantastic. I understand you're fully prepared for the wedding, but I'd like to ask if there's anything you need. Perhaps I could get a tie that complements your outfit or something of the sort?
Oh, that's sweet, but I won't be attending the wedding.
Why not?
Well, Mia soaked my dress in front of her friends the other day. She embarrassed me and said she excluded me from her wedding because she believed I'd tarnish her image.
Wait a sec. Did she intentionally drench you with water? Or was it just a random accident?
No accident. She intentionally dumped a bucket of water on me. She also claimed she's never loved me and she didn't want me to be a part of this family. Apparently, she sees me as the unwanted one who stole your attention.
That's absurd. Sure, you might not have been part of our initial plans, but your mom and I love you deeply, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We love your sister just as much. The idea that she believes our love for her dwindled the moment you came along is utterly unfounded.
Thank you, Dad. But it's something else Mia mentioned that's been bothering me.
What is this?
She claimed she wouldn't help you or Mom with your retirement unless you exclude me from the family.
Did she really say those words?
Well, I don't want to be the cause of Mia withholding her financial assistance when she's marrying into money. She has the power to ensure you and Mom live comfortably during retirement, free from any financial worries. If you want me to step aside, I'm willing to do it. I can find a solution.
Ava, that's absurd. I would never exclude you from our family under any circumstances. Mia's input towards our retirement doesn't concern me in the slightest. Your mother and I have consistently set aside funds throughout the years, ensuring our financial stability. You are my beloved daughter, and your importance to me far exceeds any financial worries.
Are you serious, Dad?
Certainly. Now leave your sister to me. I'll take care of it.
What are you implying?
Well, I had originally intended to provide Mia with a significant financial gift during her wedding speech, a portion of the funds your mother and I had set aside for both of you. However, I'm considering giving all of it to you at this point. You have nothing to worry about. I just want you to be happy. I'll take care of the rest.
I appreciate it, Dad. I love you.
Love you too, kiddo.
What have you done? How did you manage to alienate John and our parents like that? I don't understand what just happened.
Huh? Mia? Why are you texting me? Shouldn't you be celebrating?
Don't play dumb with me. I can't believe you manipulated Dad like this.
I don't have any control over his decisions. What happened?
While we were enjoying ourselves at the reception, the moment for toasts arrived. I knew Dad would give a sincere speech, offering his congratulations to John and me, maybe even gifting me a share of the funds he had saved for an event like this. Instead, he turned around and expressed deep disappointment in how I've grown as a woman. He said I was terrible and self-centered, especially for excluding you from the wedding. He also mentioned that I was essentially in this marriage with John for his wealth.
It's rather accurate, wouldn't you agree?
The whole situation was quite embarrassing, especially after I'd already boasted to my friends about my impending wealth. Why am I left with nothing now?
Why don't you have any money?
Well, when Dad brought all that up, John wasn't too thrilled. He had no idea that I had excluded you, and he found it to be an extremely unpleasant turn of events. He also wasn't too happy about the idea that I was tying the knot with him solely for financial gain. As a result, he's decided to cancel the wedding and leave me. This is all your fault.
Actually, it's not entirely my doing. I simply told Dad what you did and said to me. He devised this plan entirely on his own, you know. He has always taken pride in his moral values, including his compassion and unwavering commitment to the family. If someone attempts to harm his loved ones, he ensures they learn a lesson and think twice before doing so again. It's quite evident that he believed you had overlooked the paramount value of placing family first. He just wanted to teach you a lesson. About John leaving you, it seems he has finally seen the light. Amazing. Anyway, you should talk to Dad to resolve this issue. I won't take any action until you change your self-absorbed behavior.
Really?
It's clear that you should begin working on your interpersonal skills.
This is incredibly unfair. I hold you responsible for this.
Well, you're the architect of your own destiny, right? Good luck, Mia. After discovering the genuine reason behind Mia's desire to marry him, John canceled the wedding and chose to leave. He realized she was solely interested in his wealth. John opted to concentrate on expanding his business, striving for even greater success. He extended an apology to me after understanding my sister's lies that he held no affection for me. In reality, John held me in high regard, and Mia was merely envious, attempting to keep us apart due to her failed marriage. Circumstances forced Mia to secure employment. She ended up in the role of a cleaner at a nearby office building. It was truly a bummer to lose my sister. I thought she would always have my back, but cutting ties was the right call. She's a real negative force, and her presence would have just added more complexity to my life. I've since advanced my career, and I'm now pulling in a decent income. If she bothered to ask me, she would realize that money was never an issue. I was always self-sufficient. Sometimes individuals must face the repercussions of their choices. Perhaps someday she'll apologize and we can start rebuilding our relationship. Until then, I'll continue to live my best life, content with what I have and the people around me. And in the grand scheme of things, money isn't the primary focus.
Ahem, work-related communications coming through. Ruth, it's about the contract with A Company. You know, the one you were responsible for managing? They pulled out and the contract got aborted. It got what? Why would they do that? Don't tell me you're surprised. It's obviously because you're incompetent. That was such an important contract to this company. I mean, really. Talk about the mother of all screw-ups. How do you plan on taking responsibility? Kimberly, I'm really sorry, but I need to make this clear. I was in charge of that project and responsible for all communications between our company and that client. There hasn't even been so much as a hint of a problem until now. Why would they pull out all of a sudden? Listen, Ruth. I've been holding back so as not to upset you. But shall I just come out with it? Not to upset me? What is this, kindergarten? How can I understand the situation if you don't tell me? Anyway, something doesn't quite sit right with me. Why didn't they contact me about the cancellation of the contract? Why you, when you never had anything to do with that project to begin with? Oh, I give up. You're just too dim-witted. That's why there's no hope for you at this company. Excuse me? If you don't even take the time to consider what a client might be thinking, or what kinds of things they might expect from us as a company, or what kind of alterations they might like to see made, how do you expect to get anywhere in this business? This is probably why you're suffering from that strange illness of yours. Strange illness? What was it again? Appendicitis? Ulcerative colitis. Oh yeah, that's the one. Listen, Ruth, when you become an adult and enter society, you have a responsibility to properly look after and manage your own health. My illness has nothing to do with whether or not I'm looking after myself properly. It's genetic. Besides, don't change the subject. What does my illness have to do with the cancellation of this contract? I'd appreciate if you kept your comments about my health to yourself, given it's got absolutely nothing to do with you. Because you're defective. What? The client said they had to abort the contract because they didn't feel comfortable doing business with someone who they felt could collapse at any moment. You have to admit, it's too risky from a client's perspective to be engaged in negotiations with someone so sickly and diseased. If that's true, why would their first move be to pull the plug on the project entirely instead of requesting a change of personnel? You're saying the contract itself got cancelled, aren't you? Why couldn't someone like, say you for example, have just stepped in as a pinch hitter to save the project and ensure all of this time and resources that went into it thus far weren't a total waste? Why would I know? Do I look like a mind reader? All I know is that the client said they can't do business with us anymore. Why are you clinging to them so desperately now they're gone? It was all your fault. Maybe if you made some effort not to be so sickly, they wouldn't have left us in the first place. If my illness genuinely was the reason they backed down, then I can only apologize. Unfortunately, this isn't the kind of problem that goes away with a mere apology. Why don't you take a long, hard think about the damage you've done to this company? And take responsibility accordingly? Yes, understood. Not understood. What are you going to do? I want detailed suggestions, proposals, a plan of action. How do you intend to make up for this?
I'll work to the best of my ability to undo my failure and bring the client back.
Wrong answer. What you really need to do is have more awareness of your status as sickly, dead weight at our company. And accordingly, keep your mouth shut, keep your head down, and work silently in the background where you can't cause any further problems. If that's too hard for you, I think you'd make for an excellent coffee girl. I take milk and 2 sugars. If even that's too difficult, I suggest you start sleeping with the right people, because you're doomed to a future of failure and disappointment if you rely solely on your ability to actually do the job. You're an incompetent fool, and everyone knows it. You're leaving my messages on read. How mature. Sulking, are we? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The moment things become a little inconvenient for you, you bury your head in the sand, even going as far as ignoring your direct superior. You really are beyond help. If I'm honest, I'd rather you just resigned.
Good morning, Kimberly. I'm in the middle of a job right now, so I can't talk on the phone. Can I help you with something? Wait, shouldn't you be in the office already?
How dare you? Do not screw me around, Ruth. What lies have you been filling the boss's head with?
What do you mean? Lies?
Don't play dumb. I know exactly what you did. When I pulled into the car park and tried entering the staff door like usual, the company president was stood there blocking my way. He told me never to show my face at work again. No, he didn't just tell me, he yelled until he had goddamn steam coming out of his ears.
Oh, wow, that sounds rough. I did hear the boss can be a bit passionate at times. That's probably the reason he was able to build such a successful company, though.
I don't give a damn about that. All I can think of is that you went up and said something to him. Why else would he fire me? What did you do? Tell me.
I didn't do anything at all. All I did was head out this morning to apologize for losing the contract you told me about.
What?
Think about it. If a project collapses and it's your fault, don't you think offering a sincere apology and requesting the decision be reconsidered after promising to do better is the right and reasonable thing to do? That wasn't just my project after all. People from various departments were involved, and lots of hopes and dreams were pinned on it.
Huh? You went to see the client directly?
That's right. I swallowed my pride, got down on my knees, and apologized. Their project manager rushed out immediately when he saw what was going on, and explained the situation to me in minute detail. Everything, Ruth. I know. You tried stealing that contract from me, didn't you? You lurked in wait for Mr. Grant, the project manager, in the office car park, and waited until he finished his meeting. Then, when he got out, you basically forced him to go to dinner with you. You did nothing but badmouth me at the restaurant. Then, when you thought you'd trashed his opinion of me, you started trying to convince him of what a talented and reliable employee you are, Mo. Have you no shame? Then, to top it all off, you invited him to stay the night at a hotel with you. He described his feelings at the time of a complex mixture of shock, disgust, and terror. Being so desperate to go home at that point that he'd do anything to get away from you, but at the same time wanting to avoid handing you the project at all costs. He did the only thing he could think of and proposed aborting the contract entirely. Here's the key point though. He didn't actually want to. But you, feeling you had the ammunition you needed, launched your full frontal assault on me and came up with whatever lies it took to have me held responsible. Even putting it mildly, you're a disgrace. Don't worry though, I already told the section manager everything. Based on what you just told me, it seems like word of what you did made its way into conversation with the president.
Why, you really shouldn't have done that. Mark my words, you won't get away with this. I'll make you regret it if it's the last thing I do. Prepare yourself, Ruth. There is a storm coming.
Do what you like. Just make sure you don't do anything to cause any further trouble for the company. You might have been fired, but this company's done a lot for you, so I hope you've at least got the decency to spare them the nuance of your little revenge campaign.
Ruth, long time no see. Is now a good time? I have some news for you.
What?
You're gonna love this. Wait for it. I got married. Oh, that's nice. Congrats. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Listen, Ruth, I've been doing some thinking and I feel so guilty about the trouble I've caused you. I just wanted to take this opportunity to apologize. Oh, if it's about the contract, don't worry. I'm already over it. No, not that. Something else. I stole your fiancé. My fiancé? Who do you mean when you say my fiancé? I'm not engaged to anyone. I've been happily married for a long time. WTF? Wait a sec. This can't be. You're joking, aren't you? Or you're lying because you're so angry. Yes, that must be it, lol. It's not a joke and it's not a lie. I'm married, which means I have a husband. Which means I'm not engaged, which means I don't have a fiancé for you to steal. Aha, that's it. I bet you've already had word from him about the engagement being broken off, haven't you? I bet you're sat reminiscing over old photos and crying your eyes out as we speak. Look, I get it. I'm probably the last person you want to admit your heartbreak to. You won't be the only one crying at this rate. You're so pathetic, I think I almost feel sorry for you, lol. You must be making some kind of misunderstanding. I'm not misunderstanding anything. I know he's your fiancé. He approached me while I was crying on my own at the car park. On the day the president fired me outside the office, he really is a wonderful man. He could see I was upset and asked me if I needed someone to talk to. That's all well and good, but I don't see how you go from that being dead certain this randomer from the car park is my fiancé. He told me, of course. He said he came to the office to drop something off his fiancé left at home. But he said he just couldn't bear to see such a pretty girl crying and not say anything. I figured out he was your fiancé. Well, we were chatting over a coffee in a local cafe. I'm sorry to say this, but he said he found me much more attractive than you, and that I gave him butterflies in his stomach of the kind he hadn't felt since he was a teenager. Things between us began moving really fast after that. We went to bed together that night, and before we knew it, we were discussing marriage. It was then I knew I'd found my soulmate. He sounds like a scammer. Huh? Yep, a marriage scammer. What? Don't be so ridiculous. A marriage scammer, what even is that? Make some sense, woman. We are soulmates. Are you jealous? Is that it? Kimberly, it seems like your desire to take revenge on me is clouding your better judgment and impairing your ability to think rationally. That's the most obvious marriage scam I've ever heard of. Did he ask you for money at any point while he wasn't whispering sweet nothings in your ear? Let me guess. Something like an advance payment on the wedding costs, which he empathetically promised he'd give you back later? Huh? How did you know? Yes, he did. But that's hardly unusual. Things are moving really fast between us, so he probably didn't have the funds to get the ball rolling at a moment's notice. This is just how whirlwind romances are. Oh, no. You'll never see that money again. I'm pretty familiar with this scam because I had a friend who very nearly fell for the same one a while back. Luckily, she realized what was going on and backed out at the last minute. You, however, such a shame. I'm actually embarrassed for you, Ruth. The lengths you'll go to hide your heartbreak over having your fiancé stolen are bordering on tragic. Please salvage what remains of your dignity by gracefully admitting defeat. Yes, that's right. You lost, and I won. I can repeat myself if you like. I'm already married. My husband's abroad on business right now. But I can send you some pictures of us if you like. Oh, please, stop it, Ruth. You can't seriously expect me to believe someone like you could bag yourself a husband. What man in his right mind would have an interest in a sickly little creature like you? We were classmates in high school. We were friends since long before I fell ill. He confessed his love to me after I got my diagnosis. He said the illness was irrelevant to him, and he wanted to be with me because he loved me. Wait a sec. What? So this guy I'm engaged to really isn't your fiancé? Yay, you finally got it! This is kinda what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. I just tried to call him. He won't pick up. What should I do? Help! Not my problem. What? You mean you're not going to help me? This is all your fault. The least you could do is give me some advice. Take responsibility for what you have done.
What? This is my fault? So let me get this straight. First, you tried to steal my contract back when you still had a job and failed miserably. Then, you tried to steal my fiancé, assumed, and failed miserably once again. Is that a fair summary? To top it all off, suddenly I'm the one who's responsible somehow? Really gets the neurons firing. Would you mind explaining which part exactly is my fault? I'm drawing blanks here.
Don't twist the facts. I want my money back. $40,000 directly into my bank account now.
Nope. 40K though. Wow, he took you to the Gleaners. It's time you learned how to take responsibility for your own actions, Kimberly.
Fine, you win. I'll apologize for what I did. I'm sorry for everything. The contract, trying to steal your fiancé, everything. Can I just have my money back? Please? Not only did he take my entire bank balance, I don't even have a job anymore. How am I supposed to live?
Go back and live with your parents then? Or you could, I don't know, find a new job? In any case, I have zero obligation to help you.
Please stop talking like that. We used to be coworkers. Ruth, I'm begging you. Ruth!
We used to be coworkers? That's literally the least compelling plea for help I've ever heard. Anyway, I'm sure you'll figure out a way to fix this on your own. After all, you were always super talented at getting yourself out of difficult situations, weren't you? By sleeping with the right people? After that, Kimberly started showing up outside the company office every day, lurking behind cars until I clocked off, at which point she would jump out yelling expletives and harass me relentlessly. However, she was eventually spotted by our notoriously passionate and at times hot-headed company president. He reported her to the police, who came down immediately and bundled her into the back of a car. Apparently, her spirit was so crushed when hit with the reality of what her life had become, she broke down in tears in the police car and was inconsolable by the time she reached the station. Eventually, she somehow or other managed to pull herself together and went home with a caution, promising never to go near me ever again. However, sources tell me she's still vigilantly watching and waiting, biding her time until another opportunity to take her revenge on me presents itself. Rumor has it she's applying for jobs with every one of our competitor companies and hopes to somehow leverage that as her angle to teach me the lesson she's convinced I deserve. The irony is, if she'd just reflect on her own actions for a moment, she could learn the lesson she needs to learn. Let go of her hatred and move on with her life. Will she? I'm not holding my breath. Anyway, in more important news, I found out I was pregnant last month. I left the company when I got the news and decided to move abroad to be a stay-at-home housewife for my husband. So the whole thing with Kimberly is as good as ancient history to me now. I'm just praying I'm not unfortunate to bump into her in the street before my flight.